Hi guys, my name is Mira. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Mira Had a Little Glam. Today I'm going to be showing you how I went from this to this. So if you want to know how I did it, definitely continue to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with priming my eyes. I'm using Urban Decay Prime Potion, and it's going to go all over my eyelids and under my eyebrows, and I want to make sure that it's evenly spread out, not too much product because you don't want your eyeshadow to go flaky, but you also don't want your eyeshadow to crease. So it's so important that you go ahead and prime your eyes before doing your eyeshadow. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. And don't forget, it is definitely okay to use your fingers instead of using a brush, because sometimes fingers do help a lot more in blending it out as opposed to brushes. That's just my opinion. But that's that, and I'm going to get started. I'm using the Norvina palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Just admiring the palette, it's so gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and start off with a neutral base to be able to blend the rest of my makeup. The first color I'm using is Incense, which is right here. I'm ready to go in with my next shade, which is going to be Wild Child. So I do want this to be a little more pigmented, so I'm going to go ahead and use my MAC Prep and Prime and spray it on my brush so I can get a little more product, more of a gel / liquidy base in order to apply it. Just quickly switching brushes to the one that Anastasia Beverly Hills palette came with. This is an amazing brush, and I normally just end up using this one because it has a smaller eyeshadow brush and of course a blending brush. Amazing, that's all you need. Alrighty guys, I am doing a cut crease look, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean up whatever is on my lid with my Tarte Shape Tape in Tan Deep Sand. I am going to use an angled brush just so that I have better precision. So now that my eyelids are concealed, I'm ready to go in with my next shade on the entire eyelid, which is going to be Celestial. And that's going to be this one. I'm going to go in all over my lids using the same Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that came along with this palette. Oh my god, this is such a beautiful shade. I'm not gonna lie, guys. One thing I absolutely love about this palette is that all of the glitter shades go on like it's gel. It is amazing. I am so in love with this palette. This is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my inner corner. Highlighting my inner corner is one of my favorite things to do, only because it brings out your eyes, makes them look wide open. It's just gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it with Dreamer from the same palette. And just to make sure, you don't need too much of this, just a light amount does it, but when you have a full-blown look like I'm going for, a little bit extra is okay. Oh my god, look at that. I am going in underneath my eye on the lash line a little bit. That also highlights it and makes your eyes look wide open, bigger, more awake, all of that fun stuff. To make my eyeshadow look more natural, I'm going to go ahead with a couple different colors underneath my eye, right at the lash line. So I'm going in with Violet and Passion. I'm going to mix the two. First I'm going to go in with Violet, and then I'm going to go right in underneath and on top of it with Passion. And I'm using a more flat, more of a precision brush to go in with the other shade, Passion. Oh, more of a maroonish shade and tint to it. I am loving it. I did also want to add in a little bit more of a purple tint since the upper eye is entirely Celestial and Wild Child and it's very bright, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of Soul. Alrighty, so done with the shadows. Time for mascara. This is my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is one of my favorites. It completely separates out your lashes, makes them look so much thicker, longer. I love the volume that this mascara gives me. Ooh, that's such a difference. Can you guys tell? No mascara versus mascara. Normally people go in with the eyeliner first. I like to go in with the mascara first. I feel like my lashes are a lot more put together, and I can go on in and have them stay out of the way once I put the mascara on first. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and let those dry before I put on my lashes. Time to go ahead and do my eyeliner. I'm using Ulta Beauty liner. This is an amazing liner. It goes in so dark and thick, depending on how you draw it, but it's been one of my favorites over the years. It's the classic felt tip liner in black by Ulta Beauty. I'm gonna go ahead and draw my wing in and fill in the liner. I always like to start from the outside in. It's one of the easiest ways to perfect your wing and have it even on both sides. So this is a bit of a thicker liner, hence the reason I'm going to go in with the micro felt tip. This one is amazing. It has a really tiny tip and it's really, really sharp. So in the end, when I want to perfect my wing, this is the best liner to go in with. It's also by Ulta Beauty. Alrighty, so I'm done with my liner, and now time to do my eyebrows. So I'm using Benefit products. I'm starting off with one really important thing about eyebrows is always, always, always brush them out using a spoolie. It's one of the best ways to basically know where all your eyebrow hair is. You want to make sure that whatever, if you're like me and you like to do your eyebrows at the end, you want to make sure all of the product is out of it. So it's better to brush them out before you start off. You also want to make sure all of your brow hair are going the correct direction that you want it to, so it makes it so much easier to fill them in, and if you need to draw them in a certain shape, it's the best way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and brush out my brows. I'm going to go in with my Precision My Brow Pencil by Benefit. So you want to make sure when you're doing your brows that you don't go in with too much of a dark shade onto the center of your brows. You want to make it look natural. So once that's done, and I have the shape of the eyebrow that I like, I go in with brow zings, and that's also by Benefit. And it's sort of like there's two shades of cream, and the other shade is of powder. And I go in with the powder one, which is what tends to be lighter, and it makes your eyebrows look more natural when done on the centers of the eyebrow. Now, the best way to make sure your eyebrows are even is you make sure your eyebrow starts there, and then the angle goes there, and then it ends there, just like that. So, just gonna make sure I brush it out. Now that that's done, I'm going to go back in with my spoolie and make sure I buff it out and to make sure that it looks blended. Finally, I'm going to go in with my 24-hour brow setter by Benefit, which is a gel, and make sure that my eyebrows don't go up or down, don't move, they stay in place the way I want them. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my Lilly lashes in the style Cannies, and I'm going to use Duo Lash Glue. And it's one of the best lash glue I've used. It goes on any of the lashes you use. Your lashes stay on the entire time as long as you use it correctly. You don't want to go in with too much. You don't want to have too thick of a band when you put on the lashes. You want to make sure you let it dry at least a little bit to make sure the glue is tacky enough for it to stay and stick onto your lash line. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Once you put on the glue onto your lashes, you want to make sure you wait for 30 seconds until you actually apply your lashes onto your lash line. Now, if you're like me and wear contacts, sometimes it gets really difficult to have your falsies as close to your lash line as possible. Sometimes the inner corners just hurt, and sometimes you start getting watery eyes, and it just makes the glue not stick. So you want to make sure that if that is the case, that you cut the lash to the size of your eye. You want to make sure you do that, or else the inner band of the lash will hurt you. And if you're wearing it for a long time, it's definitely not good for your eyes. Now, with Lilly lashes, it's been a blessing for me. Their lashes just fit my eyes perfectly, and I haven't had to cut them from the inner corners or the outer corners, and it's been amazing. I love the way they look, and I can go on and on about Lilly lashes. They are one of my favorites. They have a very, very skinny band for you to be able to be extremely comfortable when you wear these lashes. Like, you feel like you pretty much have nothing on as soon as you get used to them. You know, in my head I actually count until 30 seconds. I'm like, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I don't know. If you're like me, you want to make sure you have the right amount of time to make sure you dry your lash glue. You don't want it to be too liquidy. You want it to be tacky, because when it's liquidy, it tends to go all over. It ends up being on your lash line underneath, and it's just a mess. And you want to have a finished look, especially when you're doing such a heavy look and you're going out, you know, whatnot. All right, this is dry enough for me to put on. So once my lashes are on, I do like to go back in with the liner, only to be able to cover the band in case I just don't want it to show, and to make it look as natural as possible. So I'm going to go in back with my Ulta Beauty liner. Alrighty, so I'm going to start I'm going to continue with the rest of my face, going with the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, Dream Glow Kit. I'm going to use Unicorn and Ethereal and go on in with my fingers actually to highlight my cheekbones. Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and buff this out a little bit. I'm going to use my Prep and Prime Fix on the brush. And I did want to apply a little more product for that extra glow. Let's be real, you can't really have an extra glow because however much glow is not enough. That's just me. I love having extra glow, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go on in with a little more product here and here. And as you can see, I'm only tapping it on because that is the best way to apply any product in general when it comes to using a brush. It's better to tap it on and basically buff it out. Oh, that highlight though. Definitely feeling it. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my nose using my Jady Weighty nose contouring brush. And I'm using the same palette, and the color is gonna be Wish for my nose. Go back in with my highlighter brush to highlight my forehead and my chin, and definitely use another brush for my upper lip, but I'm going to show you that. I don't want to use too much product on my forehead and chin. I do want my main attraction to be the eyes and definitely that highlight. I'm actually going to use a small concealer brush to go ahead and highlight my Cupid's bow with the shade Unicorn. One of my favorite reasons to highlight the Cupid's bow is it definitely makes your lips look bigger than they actually are. It's one of my favorite tricks. Also, I definitely overline. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I love having big, juicy, plumpy looking lips. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with Cyber, and that's by MAC. And it's a very deep purple. It's one of my favorite shades. I do go in and add in these crease lines. It does make your lip look plumpier when you're ready to put on your lipstick. Now I am ready to put on my lipstick, so I'm going to go in with NYX Cosmetics NYX Cosmic Metal Lipstick, and that is in the shade Ultraviolet. I just feel like it goes along with this entire look today, so. Lastly, I'm going to go back in with my shade Wish in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit Dream. And that is because my Cupid's bow does need to be highlighted again. So I'm going to go right back in and do that. Alright, I'm done. Thank you so much for watching my Norvina palette look. Please let me know in the comment section below what you thought of this look. If you like what you see, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and definitely follow me on my Instagram, Mira Had a Little Glam.